obviously, I don't have time to show that. That takes like 4 hours to show. But if you know how to do the Kimura trap stuff from here, you can just do that. Okay, this is another one of those things, like once I actually land and I have the Kimura, there's 50 things I could do. And it's a matter of taking what I like to take or what it gives me or what I'm like able to force, essentially. Okay, so again, on this one, you know, I've rolled it into Kimura and I've landed here. Okay, now most people will reactively turn into you. Okay, and this is not bad for me per se. You know, it might be a little more secure for me to just brute force my way up and pin him to the mat, but you know, you don't get as much out of it. So this is gonna be a little higher risk because there's a little more chance I might lose it, but it's higher reward because I'm gonna end up on his back. Okay, as soon as he starts to turn into me, again, I'm still keeping this Kimura pulled into me, and that's how I'm gonna be able to move my body around the way I'm gonna move it. So I'm pulling myself around with that Kimura, okay? So as soon as he turns in, I start to retract my knee, okay, my bottom knee to my chest, okay, and I start to pivot here, all right? Depending on how much space he gives me is what's gonna happen. Okay, so if they keep their hips on the mat, like he would lift his hips off the mat there, I'm gonna be looking to take my top hook all the way across to the other side, okay? Now I can roll him to that side and I can start to work for the top hook on the other side, okay? With back chasing in general, everyone will tell you like you need to put the bottom hook in first. That's not true. You need to end up with the bottom hook. So like probably half the time I put a top hook in first and then I just roll them until that's the bottom hook and then I put the bottom hook in, okay? Now, go back one step. If he did lift his hips up, okay, and that'll happen because I've waited a little too long to turn into him, or he's really committing to trying to kind of get up, okay? So again, just to turn it in, right? You see how his hips are off the ground? Now, like right here, I've got space to go through there. That's what I'm gonna look for on this one, okay? So it's gonna be more pivot, and I'm gonna be pulling that bottom hook in first, okay? That is safer. Like, it's a lot easier to lock the position down a lot faster. But I said it's not always there because he might not give you the space to play with, okay? And then I can start seat belting him, and I can start working for my top hook. If you ever can only get the bottom hook, and he's really closing all of this off, and there's like no space, it's always okay to come down and just cross your feet here, okay? Don't cross your feet if you have both hooks, all right? But you can cross your feet if you have one hook, and it'll let you control the position, fix your seat belts, then come back and start working for your top hook. So, we've got two different ways of chasing the back from here. All right, we've got him, well, both of them are based off him turning into me. I could also brute force the back chase, I guess. I'll show that too, but really pay attention to these first two, okay? So from here, he starts to turn in, okay? I basically always try to put that foot in, the bottom foot first. Like here, maybe I could get it in, but I might have got stuck on his hip, in which case, I'll start going for my top hook first, okay? Start to pull it in and work towards my bottom hook. If I got a little bit more space, that's the hook I want to slide in, and then I start working for the other one, all right? And I guess just to show it real quick, if I 100% was like, I want on this guy's back with this Kimura, okay? Something you can do is come up and really use this Kimura to turn them away. Like I'm just trying to get my shoulders, or my chest behind your shoulder blades here. Anytime you can get your chest behind their shoulder, you can turn them and force any of these back chases here. The Kimura is not even the important part. The Kimura just guarantees, like here I'm not under his shoulders, here I can get under him. Now it's like my forward, kind of like scooping pancake pressure that's gonna force him onto the side, and that's when I can start looking for the hip wrap or any kind of seat belt, and I can start to pivot in for my hooks, okay? So you can get a lot off of just getting that Kimura. The Kimura is actually one of the better pass finishers in that, like I said, you're gonna get something solid out of it, as long as you don't fuck it up. You guys wanna see those again?
Please.
So, you can also, like, the better you get at this, the more you can kind of just dive on this, okay? So like, if he's preemptively keeping his hands in a position where I know I could get the Kimura, like it's floating around or it's on the outside of his leg, or basically anywhere where it's on the outside, I know I can go for the Kimura. Okay, so I might not even come all the way down. Like someone like that might step in and just start to go for it, okay? But again, that's comfort, and the better you get at it, the more you can kind of like fuck around and skip steps, okay? Now, again, this is from him turning into me. I pull myself in. There's my bottom hook, okay? If I didn't get my bottom hook, I would 100% be looking for my top hook, all right? And using the top hook to work my bottom hook in, or making the top hook my bottom hook first, then putting my top hook in, okay? So, any questions on this? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna partner off and work on these two a little bit. and then we'll get water, use the bath and all that. We're just gonna kind of do an open mat in a little bit, okay? Grab your partners.